Live from WTOC, the Southeast news leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Well, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here for the news on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley, joined with meteorologist Dylan Smith. Dylan, sounds like we're in for a bit of a wet weekend.
A little bit of one where it's going to be starting as we head into this afternoon, and then we'll track it throughout tomorrow. But let's go ahead and take a look out there right now, because I've been talking about it all morning, Jude. We have been having some gusty winds is what we're expecting as we head into the afternoon. Already seeing some of that here in Savannah. Right now, 28 mile per hour gusts in Savannah, 29 in the Beaufort area. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s. We've got a few rain chances building in from the west. That's going to continue as we head into the afternoon. Pretty much the three things you need to look out for today is the warm temperatures, the gusty winds, and the increasing rain chances as we head into this evening here in Savannah. Taking a look at these a little bit further, when it comes to those wind gusts, those temperatures, we'll be looking at upper 70s to lower 80s for everywhere but our beaches. Slightly cooler for the beaches once again as we head into today. And then when it comes to those rain chances, not a lot out there right now. Those are going to continue building in as we head into the early afternoon and on into the evening. Should be pushing out as we get past 9, 10 o'clock. Could still see a few isolated chances through the overnight as we still track a few of those, mostly north of I-16. So when it comes to your commute later on today, you're going to want to use extra caution. Highest rain chances through 8. We'll still be looking at breezy winds until about sunset, and then isolated rain chances as temperatures cool into the upper 60s going into this evening. Talking about what we have going on out there, we've got a system that's working its way very quickly across the northern half of the country. Means it's going to be a slow mover for us. Temperatures go from the lower 80s tomorrow afternoon to the lower 50s by the time we get to Monday. In the meantime, it's going to set up for another first alert weather day. Pretty much what we're going to be looking at during this time is as this cold front slowly pushes south across the area tomorrow, damaging wind gusts, heavy rainfall. Not looking at much when it comes to tornadic activity. It's really just straight line winds that could get over 60 miles per hour anywhere between 1 p.m. and probably about 10 to 11 p.m. So timing all of that out for you, this is looking around 10 a.m. tomorrow. As we get closer to 2, already starting to see a few of those severe storms north of I-16, and they slowly push their way farther south as we go throughout the day, and then fall apart as we go into tomorrow evening when it comes to that severity. But we'll still have some lingering rain chances through the overnight, likely into the start of our Sunday. And then all of that works its way out. Cooler and windy weather. It's what we're going to be tracking as we head into the start of next week. So we're still not completely done with that colder air. Still putting all this together. The warm weather still around tomorrow. First alert weather day. Windy conditions with gusts up to 25 Sunday into Monday. And that's what cools down our temperatures back into the lower 50s. Freezing conditions expected by Tuesday. And then still going to be looking to warm right back up into the lower 70s as we head into next Thursday. So lots to look at as we go into the next 7 days, but giving you just an idea. When it's 30s at the coast, it'll be mid-20s inland, and it'll feel like it's in the mid to lower 20s across the area going into Tuesday of next week.
That's quite a swing right there. Dylan, I am curious, though. We're still in February. It's still winter. We're in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Is this normal? Are we close to, like, record highs or kind of...
We're relatively close to record highs. I'm looking at 82 today. The record's 84. So at best, I would expect maybe we could tie that. That was set back in 1991. But with where we're at in relation to the coast, and especially to Florida and the Caribbean, we a lot of times get those southerly winds coming in, and that's what brings in these warmer temperatures, gives you a break from the cold weather. But once those winds shift back out of the north, that cold air comes right back, and that's pretty much what we're looking at going into next week.
That's something else. It's my first winter, obviously, here in Georgia, and being 82 on February 20th is something else. So.
Winter in Georgia, yeah, without a doubt.
Hey, we still got the snow back-to-back years.
Oh, yeah. No, we got the snow, and we don't want it to come back.
Cool. All right, well, I'm hoping we avoid some of the rain for Trucktown tomorrow out in Polar. But
yeah, it shouldn't be too bad for Trucktown. Rain chances here really start going up as we head into the early afternoon. It'll mostly be areas north of I-16 until then.
Okay, how about out like near Tybee for the Shorebird Festival? Because that's tomorrow.
When is that at?
It's throughout the whole day. I think a lot of the festivities are in the afternoon, though.
Keep an umbrella with you, without a doubt.
Sweet.
And just keep your eye. If you see something that looks dark and scary off in the distance, go ahead and pull up that WTOC weather app. I'm probably already on there talking to you, letting you know what to expect, because I'll be here all day tomorrow.
Sounds good, Dylan. Thanks for joining us, and just be ready for that first alert weather day tomorrow. Of course, we'll be checking in with our other meteorologists throughout the day as well. So thanks for joining us. Absolutely. We do have a breaking national story this morning to tell you about as the Supreme Court issued a pretty major blow against President Donald Trump's tariffs today. The justices said that Trump violated federal law when he imposed sweeping tariffs across the globe. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote in the majority opinion that Trump needs authorization from Congress to exercise those tariffs. It's a striking decision from the conservative court that has sided with the president on issues like immigration and spending cuts. The justices all agreed on this decision in a ruling of 6-3. We are working to collect reaction from local and state leaders right now on WTOC. We'll bring you continued coverage about this throughout the afternoon. But this came into our newsroom just a little under an hour ago. So truly some developing national news this morning. Back here at home, 2 people were shot and killed on Hilton Head Island last night before the suspect in that shooting died by an apparent suicide at his Bluffton home after an hours-long standoff with deputies. Here's what we know. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office received reports of gunshots on Lark Street on Hilton Head just after 11:30 last night. When deputies arrived, they found 2 gunshot victims outside a home. A 50-year-old woman and a 62-year-old man were pronounced dead at the scene. Deputies learned that the suspect fled in a car, and using automated license plate reader cameras, they were able to identify the car and later found it in the area of Promenade Street in Bluffton. Deputies went into a standoff with the suspect, who's a 52-year-old man. After hours and the release of a woman inside the home with the suspect, deputies entered the home and found the body of the suspect with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Anyone with information about the incident is encouraged to contact the lead investigator, that's Sergeant Cushman, at the number 843-255-3772. Well, right now, the Chatham County Police Department needs your help to find 2 missing teenagers. On the left of your screen is 15-year-old Adriana Eccles. She's missing from the Cottonville Road area, along with 14-year-old Jana Spann, pictured on the right of your screen, who's driving her mother's vehicle. The missing teens were last seen in a Nissan Altima with a Georgia temporary tag of P75577779. A lot of 7s in that temporary tag. Police say the teens may have traveled to Hilton Head or beyond. Again, if you see them, you are urged to call 911. Well, we have continuing coverage as community leaders held a vigil in memory of Dr. Linda Davis, the Savannah teacher killed Monday in a car crash from a man fleeing from ICE agents. People prayed for Dr. Davis, her family, and the immigrant community in Savannah. School leaders spoke about her impact that she had as a special education teacher at Hess K-8 in Savannah, as well as her impact outside of the classroom. Teachers at Hess told students about Dr. Davis's passing on Tuesday. Colleagues say she cared deeply for her students and was a one-of-a-kind teacher.
Her energy was amazing. She is a true advocate for children, and it was her desire to make each of them feel extremely special in her classroom.
An administrator who has been in contact constantly with Dr. Davis's family say they are grateful for the love and support they've received. No word yet on when funeral services will be held. Turning now to state news, the man convicted of killing a former UGA law student will spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge sentenced Edric Foss to 2 consecutive life sentences plus 45 years. He was found guilty of killing Tara Baker in her Athens apartment back in January 2001. The case remained unsolved for more than 23 years until new DNA evidence led to Foss's arrest in May of 2024. Well, this morning, President Trump is back in our nation's capital following his first visit to Georgia this year. Yesterday, he was in Rome, Georgia, and Justin Berger with our sister station has more on the president's visit.
President Donald Trump visited an Atlanta staple in Rome, the Varsity, across the street.
People were lined up, they had it barricaded like little gates all the way down the road.
A few miles away, Trump met with the Coosa Steel team before he gave his remarks on the economy. tariffs top of mind.
Because the tariffs have really been a big difference.
It's been a game changer. We were competing with China. They had taken all of it. They were producing racks at $90 a piece. Our cost alone is $150. You've leveled it. The playing field's back.
And to think I have to be in the United States Supreme Court for many, many months waiting for a decision on tariffs. Without tariffs, this country would be in such trouble right now.
Trump covered many topics from tariffs to voter ID to Venezuela, but the visit was about his economy. President Trump told Georgians their incomes will increase $7,000 next year, and his plans will boost household take-home pay by over $10,000. The president, both at the Varsity and during his speech, brought up the ongoing saga surrounding the Fulton County Election Office raid.
They don't want them to see the ballot. They've taken the ballots. They have them now. After years, they got an order from the court, signed order from a very respected judge, and now they're trying to stop anybody from looking. You know why? Because they cheated like dogs.
Reporting from Rome in Floyd County, Justin Berger, Atlanta News First.
And many Republicans traveled to Floyd County for the president's visit, but at the Atlanta Capitol yesterday, or the Capitol in Atlanta, I should say, it was pretty quiet. Democratic leaders and one Georgia mother are telling us there was no time to take a day off, and there's a lot of work to be done to help Georgia families.
Tale as old as time. The people at the bottom get hit the most. I'm one of those people that are at the bottom, and I am getting hit the most.
He's coming here to lie. He's coming here to gaslight. He's coming here to portray a version of the truth that does not exist.
The president's visit puts the race for District 14 in the spotlight. That was formerly Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat that she vacated in January. President Trump has endorsed District Attorney Clay Fuller in that race. Turning now to international news. Britain's former Prince Andrew remains under investigation this morning, one day after his shocking arrest in the United Kingdom. Now, this probe was sparked by recently released Epstein files that suggest he may have given sensitive government information to billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein back when he served as a trade envoy. This marks the first time a senior member of the British royal family has been arrested in nearly 400 years. CBS's Jared Hill has the details.
Slouched in an SUV, former Prince Andrew captured leaving a police station in England nearly 12 hours after his stunning arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Authorities searched his homes as they probe whether Andrew provided confidential government information to now deceased financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This would have been while the ex-prince worked as a trade envoy.
In the Epstein file release that we've seen recently in the last few weeks, there appear to have been documents and emails which Andrew forwarded to Jeffrey Epstein and other people, which appear to have been highly sensitive.
Prince Andrew became Andrew Mountbatten Windsor last year when King Charles stripped his younger brother of his official titles over his connection to Epstein and allegations of encounters with young women. The ex-prince has long denied any wrongdoing. The king carried on with Fashion Week events after releasing a statement on his brother's arrest, writing in part, "The law must take its course." The family of Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide after saying she was trafficked to the then prince while she was underage, welcomed the news.
This is the thread that we need to continue to pull to uncover the further allegations.
The historic development sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom.
He gets what he deserves.
Until something is proven in court, it's not fair to judge.
President Trump, when asked about Andrew.
I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family.
If charged, the former prince could face up to life in prison. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, back here in the Peach State, Georgia's top industry is facing some challenges. While agriculture remains the backbone of our state's economy, farmers are navigating lower commodity prices, higher input costs, and uncertainty around federal policy. Georgia agriculture remains strong overall, but many producers are feeling financial pressure. Crop farmers are dealing with low prices and higher expenses, along with uncertainty tied to trade policy and labor. On the livestock side, demand remains steady, but supply shifts could create new issues. When it comes to inflation, relief has been limited. Government programs are helping keep some farms afloat. Dr. Benjamin Campbell with the University of Georgia's College of Agriculture says despite the challenges, he remains hopeful.
Agriculture in the state is very robust and resilient, but it is a struggle right now for many producers out there, given stagnant to lower prices on the price side and higher costs on the input side. I'm optimistic the agriculture in the Georgia and the U.S. will pull through this. It's just a matter of how big is it and what happens on and where we come out the backside.
As for what we might see at the grocery store, much depends on trade policy and supply levels. Cattle numbers are low, which could mean beef prices elevate and shift demand toward other protein products. Looking ahead, the Chatham County Sheriff's Office is hosting a prescription drug take-back event. The free anonymous event takes place Monday, February 23rd from 9:30 a.m. to noon. That'll be at the Frank Murray Community Center on Wilmington Island Road. Sheriff Richard Coleman and his deputies will be on hand to help residents safely dispose of their medications.
It's just awareness. You can never get enough of community awareness. And, safety, there's safety protocols and everything. So we want to make sure that we are making the community aware of the safety protocols that are in medicine and prescription medicines.
Please remember to remove or cover any personal information on prescription labels before dropping them off. Needles are not accepted at the event. Well, hitting the track, lawmakers celebrated ahead of this weekend's triple header at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. The Speedway was honored with a resolution during Motorsports Day at the Capitol. NASCAR Cup Series driver Ross Chastain was there to hear the resolution read on the House, and he also signed autographs outside. Now, if you're heading to the Speedway this weekend, there will be some new upgrades to the facility, including updated signs, refreshed concourses, and a redesigned victory lane. It's a homecoming for Dawsonville native number 9 Chevy driver Chase Elliott, who won the summer race at Atlanta last season. He says you can't win it without having the fastest car on the track.
I would say your aggression level is higher, less worried about car balance, more worried about positioning. I mean, it's a speedway, right? I mean, when we talk about speedways, talk about Daytona, Talladega, and now you talk about Atlanta, and it's really similar to what you see at those tracks. It's obviously a little shorter, and I think because the length is a little shorter, things tend to happen a little quicker.
And the race is 260 laps and just over 400 miles. Set it at 10, but it's going to take a lot to top the finish from the Daytona 500 last week. That was a great race. And I should also plug our Andrew Gordon does a weekly NASCAR podcast where he interviews drivers. His Inside Lane podcast for this week is available right now. You can watch it for free and listen to it for free, I should say, on WTOC Plus. WTOC.com as well. All right, with that, we're going to wrap things up here for The News. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll be back in 40 minutes for The News at noon. Until then, you could always check our website for the latest updates at WTOC.com. You can catch Andrew's podcast there as well. Thanks for watching, and here's Local News Live.